Good morning, everyone. My name is Lindsay Newton, and I would like to welcome you to the Missouri Historical Society's Summer Family Fun Series. Thank you for being here. We're so excited for you to join us virtually today. And we invite you to come back every Monday morning at 10:30. Our series runs through the end of July. Today's program is all about Forest Park and the 1904 World's Fair, and we have three museum educators leading our session today, Victoria, Danielle, and Emily. And for the Summer Family Fun series, we're using the hashtag Clubhouse at Our House. So if you do any of these activities at home and want to post pictures on social media, we would love if you could use hashtag Clubhouse at Our House. We are back in the Clubhouse ourselves, doing the programs for you. But again, we will stay doing programming online for quite a while yet, just to stay safe. And I need to quickly mention a few details about how today's program will run. Closed captioning is being provided. To turn it on, you can scroll to the closed caption button along the toolbar on your screen. And this will be a roughly 45-minute workshop. Today, we're going to ask you some questions, and you can talk with us and ask us questions too. And you can do that through the chat. So we will do our best to read everything you have to say, but we might not always have the chance. And just so you know, everything you type there is only seen by our museum educators, not by everyone. So your name is never seen by other viewers unless you want it to be. And today's presentation is being recorded. So if you'd like to watch it again or share it with your friends, it will be posted on our Missouri Historical Society YouTube channel early next week. And lastly, your feedback is always important to us. We would really appreciate if after the program you could answer a few questions. A Kobo Toolbox survey will soon open in a new tab on your internet browser. So keep an eye out for that when you leave the session. I know that some of you watching are Missouri Historical Society members. I just wanted to say thank you. We really appreciate it. And also thank you to city and county residents for your tax contributions through the Zoo Museum Tax District. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Danielle and Emily.
Hello, friends. So like Lindsay said, we are here in the History Clubhouse, and we are happy to have you back. So let us know who is visiting with us today for Clubhouse at Our House by typing into the chat box, because we want to say hello to our friends. All right. So today we're going to learn all about the 1904 World's Fair that happened right here in St. Louis in the Forest Park. Oh, are our friends telling us who's here with us today?
I see Chris. Hi, Chris.
Hi.
Who's there? There's Dominique. Hi, Dominique. Who else? Keller. Hi.
And Madeline. Hello.
We're so glad you're here today with us.
Yes.
So, let's learn. Fun facts. The World's Fair began on the 100th anniversary of the Louisiana Purchase. So, you see, in 1803, Thomas Jefferson, who was the president at that time, he purchased land from France. He purchased a huge area of land known as the Louisiana Territory. And that included St. Louis and a lot of land west of the Mississippi River. They called this the Louisiana Purchase. And it doubled the size of the United States.
Wow. They must have bought a lot of land at that time. That's amazing. And there were so many things to do at the World's Fair. There were a lot of vendors who sold yummy food, like hamburgers. Yum. And with my hamburger, I always have to have a little mustard.
Now, many people enjoy other things like ice cream cones. You see, I have a chocolate ice cream cone. That's my favorite flavor.
Yum.
And they also had things like Cotton candy. Now they used to call cotton candy back then fairy floss. Can you imagine this being your lawn as a fairy? Ooh, my fairy floss.
And there were a lot of performances and special events to watch, like the 1904 Summer Olympic Games, which happened right here in Forest Park in 1904. It was the first time that the Olympics were held in the United States, which is a pretty big deal. That's pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm. People from all over the world came to play different sports. What's your favorite sport?
I think that playing golf can be fun, and we actually have stickers like that on our mat. If you've been in the clubhouse before, you might have played with these stickers or magnets.
And my favorite sport is volleyball.
That's fun.
And you can play that inside or outside on the beach or even at a park.
Friends, can you let us know what kind of sports you like to play around your house or when you go to a park? What kind of sports do you like to play? Let's look at the chat box. Swimming! I love to go swimming too, and it's great exercise. Running, that's great.
Biking.
Yeah, biking.
I love going on my bike.
Another friend said running and soccer. Oh,
Soccer's fun.
soccer's a sport that is fun. And another friend said swimming. Yes, especially as hot as it is in Missouri in the summer, swimming is awesome. And baseball. Yay!
I love playing baseball in the summer. I love having all the team together. You can see all your friends.
And another friend loves to swim. We love to see it. All right, thank you friends for letting us know what sports you like to play. Okay, and at the World's Fair, there were giant buildings called palaces to explore. And they are marked in our map in purple. So whenever you can come back to the clubhouse, you can look at this. But right now, we're going to point out some of the palaces that they had at the World's Fair. So the Palace of Horticulture was one, and the Palace of Agriculture was another one, and the Palace of Transportation. And again, this was 1904. So their transportation looked a little bit different. They drove vehicles like this back then.
That does not look like my mom's farm.
No, it does not look like, it looks like a vintage car from 1904. That was a fun comment. Oof, somebody said. Okay. So those were some of the palaces at the park, and they had a huge Ferris wheel. It was 340 feet tall, and each car was the size of a school bus. And each car could hold up to 60 people. This big Ferris wheel at the 1904 World's Fair was amazing.
I don't even know if I know 60 people. Wow, that's taller than the Statue of Liberty.
Yes, it is taller than the Statue of Liberty, and I think it's taller than the new Ferris wheel that they built at Union Station as well.
I heard that too.
Wow. Okay.
So the fair happened inside what is Forest Park today. And this is a map of all of Forest Park.
And let's talk a little bit about maps today, friends. Maps are really important because they can give us information about a place that we don't know yet. Our map here has a special portion called a key, and that lets us know how to navigate the map. So it says that green means land, so all the green color in our map is land. And the key says that blue is water. So blue spots in the map are water. And then purple is the exhibitions from 1904 that we were pointing out earlier, like those palaces. And finally, white lines on our map represent streets.
And you can also see right next to the key is a compass rose. Now, a compass rose tells you what direction you're going. So, up means north, down means south, right means east, and left means west.
Those are important parts of every map to help us navigate the map. And we thought that we would go ahead and navigate this map. So earlier I said that golf could be fun. So again, here is my golf magnet, and I'm gonna look on the map and find a golf course right here in Forest Park, right by the History Museum. So that would be a fun thing to do in Forest Park, is go golfing right there.
Now, for me, one thing I really like to do in Forest Park is to go look at the horses. And the police officers always go on their horses in Forest Park. And where you can see the horses are going to be at the Mounted Police Stables, right here.
Friends, can you tell us in the chat box what you and your family like to do in Forest Park? Can we think of different activities that we like to do in Forest Park? While you're thinking about that, I have another thing that I really like to do. I like to eat. I think it's fun to be with friends and family and share time together. So I have another magnet that shows a picnic. All right. And so I'm gonna look at the map and see blue for a body of water. That's the Grand Basin in Forest Park. And then green for land. And I would have my picnic on Art Hill in front of the Grand Basin. Now, what did some of our friends say that they like to do in Forest Park?
So one I saw was the zoo.
Oh, the zoo. Very fun.
I can see all the mammals.
And just walking around, that can be very fun. Yeah.
I like walking my dog there.
And swimming, okay. And walking your dogs, oh fun. When I was driving to work through Forest Park, I saw a few people walking their dogs this morning, and I was jealous that they were out there enjoying the warm summer morning.
Someone likes to sled down Art Hill in the winter.
Oh,
That sounds like so much
yes.
fun.
That is such a St. Louis tradition to go sledding on Art Hill.
And we like to visit museums.
Oh, yes.
We hope you can come visit us soon.
Yes.
There's
We'd
so
love to see our friends come visit us in Forest Park. All right.
Else. Ooh, they like playing on the playground.
Oh, yeah.
Forest Park.
That can be a lot of fun too. Okay, so we've talked about our map.
We're going to try and use our magnets so we can show you how to use them with our key and our compass rose.
Okay.
So I guess I'll go first. Since I like horses and they go to the Mounted Police Stables, I can see that they are in green, which means they are on land, right? So you see all the green around them. And we can see that it's on the south part of the map. So it's going to be on the down, which is south part of Forest Park. So I know that whenever I come here, it will be on the south part of the park, and it's going to be around land.
Awesome.
What about you, Emily?
So, like I was saying earlier, I can tell that the Grand Basin is water because it's blue. And so that's where I have my picnic. And when I look at these winding white lines, I can see the street that I would take would be Fine Arts Drive to get over to Art Hill for my picnic in front of the Grand Basin. Wow, all right.
So now we're going to try and make our own maps. Now that we've practiced over here on the Forest Park map. So are you ready, friends? Let's go make our own maps.
All right. So if we look over here a little bit more, we can see the maps that we made. So our friend Danielle made this map, and then we're gonna get a better look at this map as well. There we go. So we've all spent a lot of time at home lately and in our neighborhoods as well. So we thought it would be great to make our maps of our neighborhoods. So let's look at the maps we have here. We made them out of art supplies that we had around the house, right? So I used crayons to color in green for the land and blue for the water, just like our map of Forest Park. And I used pipe cleaners to make a little circle. And the heart is my home. That's where I live in my neighborhood. And I don't have white lines for streets. I have black lines for the streets in my neighborhood. And we can learn all of this by looking at the key that I made. It just says, just like the other key, that green is land, blue is water, the heart is my home, and the black lines are streets. And Danielle used markers and stickers to make her map. Look how creative that is. And her key, again, says the same thing, that water is blue. So we see that there's a little pond in Danielle's neighborhood. And the streets are these gray pathways. And then green is the land and the park in her neighborhood. And then she drew her house right here. So we want our friends to find art supplies around their house and make their own map of their neighborhood that they've been spending time in lately, okay? And if we want to post that to social media, like Lindsay said, we're using the hashtag Clubhouse at Our House, because we would love to see what our friends create at home, okay? And then, once we make our maps and we've talked about Forest Park, we are going to fill the park with animals. That is going to be our next activity. So, what type of animals do you think live in Forest Park? All right, and we're going to transition to our next activity, okay?
Hey friends, thanks Danielle and thank you Emily for showing us maps and talking about the World's Fair and all the things we could have done here. And Victoria is on her way to talk with us about animals in Forest Park. And as Emily said, go ahead and type in the chat box if you have an idea of some animals you see in the park that we could talk about. Let's see, someone says squirrels. Yeah, a lot of squirrels run around. They run up the trees. They're everywhere, right? And I know I like to see bunny rabbits. There's been some baby bunnies around lately. Those have been fun to watch in the park. And birds, yeah, all different kinds of birds, right? Small birds and even big birds like hawks. What else? What other animals do we see in Forest Park? Before we were talking about a lot of people like to walk their dogs in the park, so we see a lot of dogs in Forest Park. Can you think of any other animals that maybe look like a dog a little bit? They've got a long nose and a tail, kind of a bushy tail. A fox. Yeah, there's some foxes that live in Forest Park. or even sometimes coyotes are in Forest Park. And they look a little like dogs. Oh, somebody said they saw a deer one time in the park. Yeah. Deer usually aren't out in the middle of the day. They're usually out early in the morning or as it's getting dark at night. Sometimes deer go through the park, absolutely. Any other ideas of animals we see in the park? What about bugs, insects? What kind of bugs do we see in the park? Bumblebees, yeah. And butterflies, good. Yes. So we see a lot of bugs flying around. Worms, somebody said worms, yeah. Anywhere there's ground, there's worms crawling around probably. And the birds come and they eat the worms. And some people go fishing with the worms. That's another thing that's in Forest Park. There's fish in a lot of the ponds and lakes, the water that's in the park, right? Yeah, fish. What else? Do we see any other things in Forest Park? There's a lot of animals at the zoo, right? But if there wasn't a zoo, those animals probably wouldn't all live in Forest Park. Oh, I see Victoria. Victoria is ready for us.
So,
All right, thanks for coming, Victoria.
hello, friends. How is everyone doing? We are so glad to see all of you all today. So, we talked about maps. We talked about the 1904 World's Fair. So now we are at the crafting corner and we are going to make some fun animals. And I saw that you all put so many different animals that you can find in Forest Park in our chat. And actually, I heard a bird. Can you all pretend to be a bird? Flap your wings. I have a bird friend right here. Can you all guess what kind of bird this is? Red. We have our bird friend. And I also heard someone say fox. We also have our fox friend. Okay, so I have another animal. Can you guys guess with me what animal it might be? I'll give you a hint. This animal will be white, just like this paper bag I have. And it's big, and it roars like this. Well, let's get started, okay? I'm sure you all will figure it out before we finish making our cutlet today. Okay, so what should we start with?
You have some people saying eyes.
Eyes, okay. I think that's a really great idea. So I have two googly eyes here. Can you all see my googly eyes? Actually, I have a big bucket of them, but we're gonna take two because our animal only has two eyes, just like us. All right, so have my glue stick. I'm gonna glue our eyes down, just like this. Hopefully they stick. We'll see. Gonna press down really hard. That was tough. Okay, so we got our eyes on for now. There's our eyes. Look at them shake. Whoa. Okay, let's see. We have our eyes. How about we do the nose next? Here, I have this little black nose. Can you guys tell what shape this is? You all see that? Small, but I have a bigger version of this shape. This right here is like the shape of my face, almost. This is an oval. It's an oval, O-V-A-L. So our nose is an oval shape. And we are gonna glue that down right under our eyes. Okay. Whoa. Look at that. Okay. So I guess we should do the mouth next, huh? I have a marker here. I'm gonna draw on a little mouth. Can you guys guess what animal we're making? Draw a little mouth. I'll give you another hint. You probably won't see one of these walking around in Forest Park, but you might see them at the zoo in Forest Park. So we have our oval nose. So, what's another thing on our face we can draw? We have our eyes, our nose, our mouth. What was that? I couldn't hear you. Ears? Okay, let's try our ears. Look at this. We have one ear, two ears, and I'm sure all my friends know what shape these ears are, but here's a bigger version. They are circles. Okay, let's glue them down. So I'm gonna glue these behind our, I almost said what animal it was. I'm gonna glue these on the back, okay? One ear. Get lots of glue on there. Ooh, press it down hard. And our other ear. Friends, are you thinking about what animal you want to make at home? Look at those ears. Look at them. Okay, I'll tell you all now. I think most of you have guessed, but we are making a polar bear. Okay, so we have our ears, our eyes, our nose, and our mouth. How about we give our ears a little bit of color on the inside? Where we have these pink, but look, if you put them together, they make a very familiar shape, a circle. So we call half of a circle like this a semicircle. Okay, let's glue them down. One semicircle. Press it down really hard. And our other semicircle. Oops, need to roll up my glue. All right, let's press that down really hard. I hope my eyes don't fall off. We'll see. We're trying. Okay, so we have our face complete. Look at our bear. Isn't that fun? Okay, so let's make sure everyone knows this is a polar bear, okay? So we are going to draw, or we're gonna glue on our tummy. Where's your tummy? Mine's all the way down here. Okay, for our tummy, we have another oval, but this one's blue. Do you all know where polar bears like to live? They love the ice because it's nice and cold. Let's glue our tummy on. Press it down really hard. Don't forget. And our last piece of our bear are the hands. But bears don't have hands, they have paws, just like a dog or a cat. So here we have two little paws. They aren't exactly real shapes, but they're kind of like an oval, but I cut off a little part of it. So we're gonna glue them down. There we go. Can you all give me some suggestions for what I should name my polar bear puppet? Sarah, I love that name. Rose, I love that name too. Michael, you guys are coming up with some really, really great names. I have an idea. What if I name it Victoria? Just like me. I'm just kidding. I think I'll name it, we'll just call it Polar Bear, Sarah, Rose, Michael, Victoria. That's a long name, isn't it? So I have our little bitty tongue. Do you know where your tongue is? Can you poke your tongue out? We're gonna put our tongue under our bear's mouth. So when you open it, so the bear talks, you'll see his little tongue. It's another semicircle. Did you all see that? It's a little bitty one, but ta-da. All right, let's glue this under. And I think our polar bear is complete. Oh, I have one more shape. The shape of the entire polar bear. So the shape of the entire rectangle is, oh, it's a rectangle. There we go. Oh, rectangle. See that? So we have a rectangle, rectangular bear with circle eyes and semicircle ears, oval nose, and oval tummy. So you all can make your own puppet animal friends at home. You can use paper like I use. You can draw your animal face. Or you can use other supplies like pipe cleaners. You can use newspaper, whatever you have at home. You can put eyelashes on your bear or stickers. There's a lot of different fun things you can do. So we hope that you make your own puppet at home, and an animal you would see either in Forest Park, like squirrels or birds, or in the zoo, like our polar bear friend here. So let's try it out. Look at our puppet, guys. Hello, friends. My name is Polar Bear, Sarah, Rose, Michael, Victoria. It is nice to meet you all. Hey, do you all want to meet my other friends? I have a few friends right here. Let's see. It's Miss Fox. Hello, Miss Fox. Hey, Polar Bear. I'll nickname you that for short. It's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. Let's see, it looks like you're made out of a lot of different shapes too. We have triangles, rectangles. Oh, look, you have a fun little tail. Thanks, Polar Bear. You're so nice. Let's be friends. I would like that. Aw. Look, Polar Bear just made a new friend. And Miss Fox made a friend too. Let's see. We also have our friend Cardinal. Flying in the sky. Hello, friends. My name is Cardinal. I like to play baseball, but I like to watch it more than play. I'm a little small, but that's okay. And our last friend is an insect. Let's see. This friend likes to come out a lot in the summer. And this friend is also really important because this friend pollinates flowers and it helps us get all of the food that we eat. And this friend's name is Bee. I'm Bee. It's nice to meet you all. And thank you for coming today. So these are all the different animals that you all can meet, either going to the zoo like you all said you like to do, or taking a walk in Forest Park, walking your dogs. There's so many different animals and wildlife that you can see at the zoo and in Forest Park. And this is really cool because in the 1904 World's Fair that we learned about, there were a lot of different animals that came and people could see them for the first time ever because these animals were not found in the US. They were from other countries and different continents. Like our polar bear. I don't think you would find a polar bear in the US, but you can see them at the zoo. So it's really hot out though, right? Our polar bear friend likes it really cold. So I brought him some snow and ice. So we're gonna give him some snow. Let's help our polar bear friend be more comfortable and cool. How was that, polar bear? Pretty good. Thanks, friend. You are very welcome. So please make your own puppets at home, friends, and be sure to post them online so that we can see your friends and then we can all be friends, right? So make sure you tag us here at Clubhouse at Our House on any of the social medias and we'll see it. So how about we recap what we've learned today? Let's see. We talked about the 1904 World's Fair that took place right here in Forest Park. We looked at some really cool maps of Forest Park. We talked about what we like to do in Forest Park. Someone said they like to sled down Art Hill, and my friend Emily said she likes to take picnics on Art Hill. And look, we are right in front of the Grand Basin, which is pretty close to Art Hill. You see the water fountains? It looks very refreshing for this summer day. I'll say, kind of makes you want to go swimming. But we looked at the World's Fair, we looked at maps, and here's an example of our map again, my friend Emily made. It has important parts like a key that tells us this green is land, the water is blue, and the heart is where her home is. What do you think of that map, Polar Bear? I think that map is pretty cool. I can't wait to see all my friends' maps. Be sure to post them online. And lastly, of course, we made some new friends. Hi, friends. So please, show us all the wonderful things you make, your puppet friends, maps, and you can go around on a walk with your family in Forest Park or around your neighborhood and just see what animals you see. see what the streets and the grass, and if you live by any water, you can make a map of your neighborhood. And thank you all so much for coming today. We hope to see you again soon. Bye, friends.
All right, everybody. Thank you, Victoria, and thank you, Danielle and Emily, for sharing all of these Forest Park inspired activities with us. That was so much fun. I hope you all watching had fun. And if you're watching and want to tell us what your favorite thing today was or what you're most excited to do, type that in the chat box and let us know. Do you want to make a map? Do you want to make a puppet? What are you going to do at home inspired by Forest Park and the World's Fair? And again, I just want to say we would love for you to join the Missouri Historical Society for more summer family fun. Monday mornings, 10:30. Next Monday, July 6th, we will be taking a walk in the park. Join us to take a virtual walk through Forest Park and use our imagination to transport ourselves back in time and explore the wonders of World's Fair. The program next week is designed for kids in 2nd grade through 6th grade. Also, we have our storytelling sessions for early childhood kids every Friday morning at 10:30. You can visit mohistory.org or Facebook to check out more about our upcoming virtual programming. And remember, we would love for you to tell us what you think about the program today. That Kobo Toolbox survey should have opened in another browser tab on your computer by now. So please take a minute to complete it if you can. And if you're posting any photos on social media, use hashtag #ClubhouseAtOurHouse. Thanks again for joining us, everybody. See you next time.